That's right. It says Scream 4. Hey dudes, B Junior here from Endurance Productions YouTube channel. B Junior's Movie Cave, hanging out in the cave. Just a quick video for you right now. Gonna do a little post-viewing thoughts video, a quickie, on Scream 4. That's right, I took in a matinee today, and I gotta say, overall, a pleasing experience. Two words can probably best sum up this film. And before I get too deep into it, no spoilers on this one. I want you guys to actually go and support real horror and watch this film and draw your own conclusions. So I'm not going to put any spoilers in here, just my feelings overall of the viewing experience. Two words can best sum this film up, probably fun and refreshing. I had a good time. I don't feel like I wasted my money. I had a great time watching Scream 4. It was fun in the respect that it could be a good group movie if you want to go with a group of friends. You can watch it solo. You can take and watch it. You can go on a date night and have a good time as well. It basically works on all levels like that. Now, it is R-rated, and the violence is amped up a little bit in it, and the blood is there for you gore hounds. You will get a little better fix of that in this film. Basically, overall pleasing experience. It's fun in the respect that it's not overly wake you up in the middle of the night scary, but it does have some jump scares here and there that would please. It's a crowd pleaser in that way, much like the other Scream films. It follows, basically, it's a formula of Scream with new stuff mixed in. It's about a 50-50 mix of it in that respects. Guys, I gotta say it's also refreshing in that it is not a dang remake. And just while I'm on that subject, it's basically, in my opinion, it's in an effort to keep real horror alive, because this movie, as I said, is not a remake, but it basically does a great job in just proving once again that studios can make a real horror movie that's not based on something else and kind of fails and fades in comparison. These lackluster remakes have no rewatchability for the most part. Now, there have been a couple good ones, but for the most part, they don't have good rewatchability. And the Scream 4, in my opinion, it's not going to change the face of horror, but it's a good outing, and you won't feel like you wasted your time with it. Speaking of remakes, it does well in the film, as you can imagine. If you know Scream and how they pick on other pop culture and stuff like that, they do a good job at throughout the whole entire movie, poking and prodding at remakes through this movie, which was kind of refreshing, because if you're a true horror fan, or if you love horror movies, basically, you're going to feel good when you come out of there, because you feel like the home team, they actually rooted for the home team, the people out here, kind of like myself. I began to boycott remakes. Oddly enough, the one that did it for me, that nailed the final nail in the coffin, was that danged old Karate Kid remake. I have still not seen that film, and I have no desire to. It just kind of did it for all genres for me. I said, that's it. No more remakes for me, unless they're highly, highly recommended by others. The last remake that I saw that I really enjoyed was the Piranha remake, but it doesn't mean I like it any better than the original. But I'm getting off subject here. But anyway, it pokes and prods at a lot of remakes in the film, which is kind of refreshing as well, because it's what we're all thinking. We're all thinking, don't mess with the original, because why mess with it? Because that's what made those movies good. It's just the remake trend, as we all know, is just the shameful studio quick buck cash in, that they're there to get your dollars. And unless we stop giving them the money, they're not going to stop making remakes. I mean, they got a Fright Night remake coming out and all these other ones. It's starting to die down a little bit now, and hopefully Scream 4 will lead the way a little bit, and they'll make a couple more of those at least. Maybe revive some other franchises. They don't have to even make direct sequels anymore. That's my whole point, guys, is if they could just take and make standalone movies, even if they mess around with the backstory just a little bit, or just kind of omit things, just start to get the main characters out there for Jason Voorhees, Michael Myers, whatever, and just keep making horror movies. And I know they will. You all know that they will. I mean, eventually, it's whenever you've went so far away from the well, it's time to go back to it. And once you have to go back to the well, you have to go back to basics, and you start getting regular movies again, decent movies again. So But overall, Scream 4 a good experience. They do a good mix of mixing in the old with the new. I'm not going to tell you anything about the killers or anything like that. The only thing I will tell you is that about 2/3 of the way through the movie, if you know the Scream formula or if you study the characters as you're going through the movie, if you know the Scream formula, you're going to know who the killers are. I mean, or at least narrow it down to a handful of people that it could be. There's plenty of victims in this movie. The body count is probably higher than most Scream films that I've seen. I didn't count or anything as we're going through it, but it seemed like there was a whole lot of body count going on. So I don't think Scream 4 will disappoint in most horror fans' corners. If you like the Scream movies, you're going to like this movie probably. If you like slasher films in general, you probably want to go see this. If you don't like horror films, I wouldn't recommend it in that arena. So keep that in mind, guys. This has been your quick rundown on Scream 4, just my post-viewing feelings on that. I say get out there and watch it. Gets my seal of approval because A, it's fun, B, it keeps real horror alive. It's a sequel to a decent franchise that was out during the 90s, and basically overall not a disappointing experience. It's just a good outing. Good special effects too. Little to no CGI in this one. If they used any CGI in this film, it had to be seamless. I didn't notice that it was in there at all. So good practical effects for the most part. Take care, dudes. I'll see you next time. Rock on.